G'day guys, Adam Grocke from Johnston Grocke here, and I've got Sam from Ardento here. Thanks mate, and welcome. We're going to take a deep dive into how to leverage technology for efficiency in businesses.
Cool, yeah.
So many options you can do out there, and probably one of the traps you can fall into is having too many apps for too many things.
Yeah, very true, very true.
And so I thought the best thing that we should do is probably start at businesses that find it the easiest to leverage technology, and they're startups.
Yeah,
or small businesses.
And this is a hugely exciting time for startups, which is I think why it's the age of the entrepreneur, and I think you now can really have a laptop lifestyle and really with a laptop create a scalable business. And technology is the catalyst for doing that. It really allows huge reach now. It allows things to happen very quick with the real advent of cloud-based technology. You can whip out your credit card and for a modest fee have some pretty state-of-the-art technology at your fingertips, ready to go. So it's a pretty exciting
cost to start a business and build a scalable business is shrunk from hundreds of thousands of dollars to you're talking, even under $1,000.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a few subscriptions and you can be sending out invoices and having some marketing activities without too much effort alone. I really think technology now is also allowing the distance of business to be eroded away. Now the world has become a more globalized place, so it's not about dealing with people within our own state or their own postcode. Now we can reach far beyond that, and technology allows us to do that. And so that's a really exciting time for anybody who is embarking on starting up a business or is in that startup phase. Is you can become global or at least national without too much effort using tech, for sure.
So if we focus just on efficiency, I mean, you've got efficiency within a business, so how do you actually do things more efficiently?
Yeah, okay, so I think, look, implementing technology is one of the key reasons why you would do that is efficiency, and that's probably the whole reason why software in business ever came about. If we even look at simple things like a bank reconciliation, which was done sort of manually on paper, and then great bookkeeping systems allow that to be done very quickly and very easily. So efficiency from technology is going to allow you to be able to build and scale your business. If you're thinking about how can I make my business more efficient and what technology can do that, if there is repetitive tasks that you're doing, whether it's you're recording information in a regular fashion, or maybe you're always requiring information from customers, using technology to allow the customer to do a bit of the work for you is a great way to do that. And
that's a significant shift, isn't it? Because businesses were always, we've got to do everything, so we will call you to get all your information. Now you can send them a form and they'll actually do the input themselves.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting thing. It's a sort of human psyche in itself, is we actually want to do more. We almost resist when they want to do something for us. So if you're allowing your customer to provide you information on their own timeline when they want to, in the comfort of their surroundings through an app or online, you're actually creating efficiency, but you're also creating a better customer experience too. So it's a double-edged sword in that respect, and it's really going to help keep growing and scaling in that direction. So anything that is allowing a customer to get closer to your business, but allowing them to engage and do some of the heavy lifting for you is only a positive, definitely, and software is doing that for us.
So I just want to go through some examples that people might even be able to look into, and it might just help them open their eyes and their understanding of what options are available out there. Because quite often you do put the blinkers on, you go, cool, I need to get more efficient in this, and it might be invoicing. So you go, cool, I'm just going to go straight to zero or something, or an invoicing tool.
Sure.
Right, but if we open people's eyes, because I know there's things like Calendly out there, which essentially is you block out your times that you want to have appointments, and people will just go and book that appointment.
Definitely, yeah. So Calendly is a really great example of that old email back and forth. I'm available on these times. No, what's this? And we're trying to find a good calendar slot. So Calendly flips that and says, well, I'm available on these times. You choose one. So that creates efficiency because we're not going the back and forth, but also just lets people maybe plan ahead around. So that's a great example of how that. I think another one that businesses should really consider, and it doesn't necessarily have to happen on day one, is customer portals. So if customers are calling or having to speak to an employee or a staff member to get information, that's a huge opportunity for you to give them that information on demand and allow them to interact with it when they need. And it doesn't have to be too crazy. It could just be updating their details. It helps with the data cleanse that we're talking about. So being able to allow your customers to interact with your business online further than just showing them a web page that's a huge step that I would say nearly every business in every industry could really leverage a customer portal of some sort. And the good news is a lot of software systems now have the ability to roll out customer portals within the software. So it's not now I don't have to go on.
It's not a duplicated system.
Yeah, not a duplicated system, or I don't need to go and create or hire a web development company to build me a customer portal. It's all going to be part of the initial software, so you can get going on that straight away.
And people want that back because, again, it's changed when people want to view it. So if I could only view my information between 9 and 5, well, I work from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Longer, actually. But, you know, I'll get home and I'm sitting there, the daughter's gone to bed, I want to jump on and I want to look at my information at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You've got to give me that power as a customer, don't you?
Yeah, that's right, and that's creating that customer experience. We want, the world is not a 9 to 5 world anymore. It's a 24/7 world, and people operate and be able to get information when they want it. It's an on demand. Everything we do this day and age is on demand, from entertainment through to ordering our food and everything in between. So why not think about how you can create an on demand service or an on-demand information in your own business and allow people to do that. If anything, they're going to be more engaged with your business, and they're going to take a lot of the grind out of data management as well. So they're doing the hard work for you. Great way to scale as well. We don't need more manpower, we just need more processing power.
So what's the best process for someone, an individual or a business, to go through really to identify where they should even be looking to solve some of these problems? Because it's quite daunting to go, well, I just don't even know anything about that. Where do I start? What do I do?
Look, I think you can get lost online. You can definitely start Googling these areas and you will find a wealth of information. Speak to some experts is a really great thing. I mean, don't be afraid to reach out to anybody who is an expert in a specific area, and then they will be often willing to give you some advice and direction in that. I think if you're speaking to people that have done it before, whether it be a peer or another business person or an expert business or an agency that can really give you some advice, I think these are the things that are going to at least get you faster results. Of course, there's plenty of places online, and most of these software vendors will provide a lot of information. Trialing systems is a great option, having a play around with it, getting to use it without having to pay for it.
They'll give you a 1 or 3 month subscription most of the time.
And most of them will allow you to extend that as well. They're in it for the long term, and they know that the churn rate happens quite quickly. Subscription is low barrier to entry, so you're a little bit of money up front if you do have to pay, but it's not years or multiple years or tens and thousands of dollars to get a system. So speaking with experts and speaking with peers that have done it before is a really great way to know that you're heading in the right direction.
And probably even looking a bit internally, going, what are the things I do which is actually a repeated task constantly that I don't want to be doing, and how can we use? So for another example of that is like clients and customers signing forms, like DocuSign is completely taken over the world. Dropbox is a cloud solution that's low cost to get into as well. So there's all these options out that's really just going, what do you need and what's going to give you the highest ROI or highest impact?
And I think especially if you're a more established business, have a look at the spreadsheets that you have. If you've got lots of spreadsheets in your business, chances are there's an opportunity to automate because they've been created out of the necessity to manage information or shift information from person to person or manage a process. Taking that, spreadsheets are great, they're very flexible, but they're not very efficient. So being able to erode those away and replace that with some workflows, some automations in there, and like you said, if you're doing a repetitive thing, even a few times a day, or your team members are, that can be automated, and it can be automated at very low cost as well. So
because you're not the only one that would have experienced that problem, which means someone's developed a solution.
Yeah, someone else is doing it, right? There are probably multiple solutions, and it's just finding the right one and finding one that will fit in with your workflow and the way that you're doing it. And yeah, I think really honing in on those ways of efficiency is something that's essential to be able to scale your business and stay lean early on so that you've got some room to grow later.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully this has been useful. What we're going to do is we're actually going to have a list that you can download, which is going to show you all the tech solutions you should be looking into implementing in your business so you can actually leverage technology and gain that efficiency in 2019.
Sounds awesome.
Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, guys.